Well, hello and welcome. Welcome to Leading Ladies, Leaving Legacies. How I love saying that because we all are. I also like the word goddess. I am Joy Ruffin, and the work that I do is as a leadership and signature style specialist, professional speaker, executive producer, TV host, and podcaster. And as the kids say today, who cares? What you care about is that you're here to meet and greet my featured guest speaker, because every week we bring to you a featured guest speaker who comes to share enlightenment, excitement, wisdom, and love with you. So all I want you to do is just sit back and relax and help me welcome our guest. But before I do, let me give you a little bit about her and her background, which I love. Well, I only bring you people that I love. Gayle Marie Morrison is an expert marketing strategist, corporate AI specialist. She has over 20 years of experience helping small businesses and solopreneurs build visibility and connect deeply with their audience and generate consistent leads. Don't we love that? As well, she's in Maryland, and I could go on and give you so much more about her background, which is fantastic. But what do you want to do? You want to meet her. You want to see who is Gayle Marie Morrison. And so do I want you to meet her. So my Eagles, just sit back and relax and take it all in, because she's here to share some phenomenal insights with you that will support you in the business that you're about, because most of us are working online. So help me welcome my featured guest speaker, Gayle Marie Morrison. Come on up.
Hello, Joy. Thank you so much for having me here today. I'm so excited.
I'm excited
to be here. Thank you.
Thank you. I'm excited to have you back, because this is a little bit of a reset, because we had so many issues before, but this time we are ready, Gayle Marie, to rock and roll. And your background intrigues and excites me, as it will so many others who are maybe not that familiar with you. Okay. Let's start off with what you left me with, from caregiver to CEO. Share with us a little bit about that so to get us going.
Well, I am a serial entrepreneur. So I started business right out of college, 2 months out. But there came a time later in life where my father became ill. And I was working my business and working with him as well with his illness. And I was his caregiver full time. It was the most valuable time in my life that I was able to spend that quality time taking care of him at home. I did work within my business somewhat, but I put it on the back burner just a little to make sure that I had my focus and attention to his latter days.
Gayle Marie, I love that, because being a caretaker involves and consumes you completely.
Yes, it
But
does.
what I like that you shared with me, Gayle Marie, and what we're presenting here to our listening audience and viewing, is that it helped you and provided you the time to prove and prevent a growth system that you use and you utilize now. And I think you said there were 3 pillows that you discovered and that you work with. So share with us a little bit about those pillows and how they work for you and others.
Yes, actually, during my downtime, wee hours of the morning and other times, I was able to sit down and try to think about, if I were to start a business again today in this market, what would I need to have in place? What would be the process and what would be the system? And how and the time frame. This is, I want to reach this goal within a 3 to 4 month time frame. And so the system that I developed, created, is called the Ultimate Growth Trifecta. And that 3 pillars are: number 1 is visibility, number 2 is client engagement, and number 3 is the lead flow accelerator method that builds up the ultimate growth trifecta. And it took me from 0 a month to 50,000 a month in a period of 3.5 months, from 0 to 50,000.
Woo! I don't know how you could not love that. And I love the trifecta, because almost everything that I do, I don't know where it comes from. I don't question things anymore, but I work in 3 and 5s. So
Okay.
a 3 sentence or 3 comments or whatever. So it makes sense. But when you say a trifecta, which is 3, and how you label it, all of them tie and align together.
Yes.
What have you found in the working with the solopreneurs and the small businesses and the larger businesses that most of us have to work a little bit harder to align and put together? Well, out of those three, which is
Out
the
of the
one that
three,
presents the biggest issue for most of us?
well, it's going to start with visibility, which is the foundation. That's the
Mm-hmm.
framework. Now, we say visibility, it's not just being per se visible online
Mm-hmm.
solely. It encompasses certain things as development of your value proposition for your brand. It also entails your unique selling proposition, your uniqueness, your USP. It
Mm-hmm.
also entails the development of your ideal buyer so that you can become visible in front of the right audience. Most individuals are not clear on all of the nuances that are involved in developing their ideal buyer, their unique selling proposition, and their value proposition. And there are many, many gaps. And they move forward with client engagement, doing a social media calendar, content, etc., to try to get leads, but it's falling on deaf ears. They may have 1,000, 2,000, 3,000 likes, but they don't convert into clients that well, they don't convert to clients. And they're trying to figure out why, and they keep tweaking part two and part three, not understanding how crucial part one is. That's even the development of your signature offer, your benefits stack. Those things are crucial to your visibility. We also work with press releases, your online presence, development of a lead magnet, your signature offer, your giveaways. We work with all of those pieces. That's part of visibility.
It's fascinating to me, Gayle Marie, that the trifecta, and when I ask you that question, that the first thing you said, and they are all aligned, most of us are aware of that, but the visibility, because it's so much more than just being seen, heard, and valued. It's how are you going about it? Is that
Yes.
what I received? What is your format? What is your foundation and structure? I'm lacking in that. So I really get that. And you said having clarity. So
Yes.
how do you, I'm sure it's different for each and every individual. It would have to be. But
Mhm.
how do you get them, with all the things that you mentioned to us, to narrow it down to contingent upon their business? And what do we focus on to start us on
To
this
get
visibility? Yeah.
to get clarity for my clients, and for those that I do the free audit for, if there's an issue there, what I do is I provide them with a mini course on gaining clarity, and basically that's understanding exactly what they're offering. See, I take them through a process where we do a whiteboard and we align up them as a person, their skills and their traits, and compare it to what they're offering, what they're in business for, and what they're doing, to see if there's the alignment there, to get clear on who you are, because understanding who you are also helps you identify who your client is, because you're going to resonate with those individuals. You're going to have a synergy with those individuals. You're looking for your tribe. So getting clarity there on a number of things: your business model, your personality traits that are
Mhm.
beneficial to your business, and then finding and being clear about who your audience is. And that's the clarity piece. But I do offer a course, a mini course on that for individuals to go through that process. It takes about 3 or 4 days, and they're crystal clear on their business model and their personality. And we merge the two, fill the gaps, and we begin to build their signature program based upon that.
Boy, oh boy, oh boy, you're using all the words that I love. You said they began to build, but what you said that resonates with me, and 3 or 4 days, because we're in this Insta society now, we all want, most of us,
Yeah.
never all, everything yesterday. So
Yes.
that mini course, which
Hmm.
gives you crystal clear clarity, how could you not partake of something like that? And I don't know what's involved and whatever, but that resonates with me, because what
Hmm.
that leads to, Gayle Marie, and you already spoke to it, you alluded to it briefly, but you said why likes don't pay the bills.
Right.
You spoke to that, because a lot of people think the larger the number you have, those people who are commenting and liking and loving what you're doing, that's not paying
Right.
the bills. So speak to that. You've already spoke to it, but give us more
Right.
definition.
Yeah, likes don't pay the bills, but a proven system and process will. When I started, back in early 2024, getting back online with social media, I may have 700, 800 likes. And we had conversations, but it wasn't converting. So I had to develop the system for conversion. And what that does is you don't need a huge audience. You don't need thousands and thousands of people in order to close a deal. So what you need is to understand your offering so that you know exactly who you're speaking to, and then you attract that small group. So if you have 100 people, only 20 people are going to be somewhat interested, and only 2 or 3 would be committed to moving forward. So what we do with that in the system is that we narrow down the 20, and then we focus on the core few that will actually become our clients. It's a numbers game, but also in the development of the client engagement piece, which is the second part of the trifecta, we fine tune and tailor the advertisements and the marketing to those individuals so it resonates with them. And once you get their attention, you're able to start the conversation, which will lead to conversion.
And what you said earlier, it resonates with them because we've all heard in different verbiage, different ways, because there's so much verbiage and rhetoric and jargon out here. But your tribe, your group, your circle, the community that you're wanting to build, I love that. But here's what we all know, and this is what you're speaking to, Gayle Marie, and I'm loving it because it's not about you're the expert. You're the one who has the knowledge and expertise and all of that, and the love and the wisdom. But it's what do they need? Yes. Discovering what is your expertise and that they can need, and sometimes often maybe not even knowing it. So that engagement, that visibility, giving them the value and all of that. And then you talk about the ability to have 10 to 18 calls a week. And you spoke to how you narrow that down. Let's just say it adds up to 100 per, I'm exaggerating to make a point, for the week. But then you narrow it down to those that you feel and you know based on what you received are going to really take advantage of the services that you're offering.
That's true. With the accelerator piece, which is the third part, the final part of the trifecta program, we are speaking to over 150 individuals a day, connecting with in some form or fashion. And from that number of 150, we're able to book calls on our clients' calendars for pre-qualified leads. So we go through the process of finding those individuals, pre-qualifying them, and then booking them on your calendar, at which time you would then step in to speak with them during your discovery call or sales call, whichever the offer is. And so to do that, we work through questionnaires, we research profiles and backgrounds. We do it organically. It's not paid leads. And organically means there's a genuine connection. And that's what makes the difference. So by the time they talk with the client, they're a warm lead, not cold. So there's conversations that would go on beforehand, information gathering that goes on. And that's how we narrowed it down and able to book 10 to 18 calls per week for each client.
And I'm sure that everyone out there tuning in now and those for the replay, Gayle Marie, they're going to like the word that you used there, which I had to come to in a different way. And now in the organic leads.
Yes.
Organic. Because there's so many out here who are masterminding the YouTube channel and all the other platforms.
Yes.
They're just giving you all kinds of leads, but they're not organic.
That's true. They're not organic and they're not necessarily committed. And it really interested. So we weed through that so that you don't spend a lot of time, wasted time in sifting through individuals that are just tire kickers and time wasters, as we say.
And I like that because you also said, you mentioned earlier that you are able to pre-qualify contingent upon all the things that you see. And I'm sure, and if I'm wrong, correct me, I have no shame in being wrong because that's how I learned. Pre-qualified means that are more in alignment with the offer that you're offering. And that's why that offer is so major.
Right. And we help to create and the offer. We also, based upon your niche and based upon your personal characteristics, we develop a lead magnet that merges the two. And then we make that offer. The people that are going to be attracted to that offer are going to be individuals that have already in some ways connected with you on certain levels, because we've been able to promote you during the visibility piece, and they get to know you a little bit, and they want to know more about you and what you can do for them. So it's a twofold, in that they want to know more about you and they want to know more about your service, but they already feel somewhat comfortable from the information that we have been providing under the visibility piece.
I love it. I love it. I love it. And I love the word I love it. I love it because I love love. And so do you.
Yes, I do.
let, me,
Yes,
let,
I
me, let
do.
me ask you, you keep saying, because I always, most always say we, because
Mhm.
what I've learned over the years, painfully so, is that no matter what your gifts and talents and skills might be, you have a team of people that you work with that you treat the way you want to be treated, more or
Yes.
less,
Yes.
because you don't do anything alone. So when you say
No.
we, you have a
Mhm.
team, a group of people that you're working with. What does that we mean to you? I have 5 people that I would die for, because without them, I would be chopped liver. And I exaggerate to make a point. I would still survive, but I
Right.
love them and I know it's
Right.
mutual. So how do
Right.
you classify your we?
My we consists of my social media manager,
Yes.
most importantly, my customer success manager.
Uh-huh.
And then I have also one or two coaches that I work with. Believe it or not, we offer services to assist with your Zoom presentation, so that you are ready to go on camera, so that you feel comfortable with presenting. So we have a rehearsal with a presentation coach that will help you present your best. So that's one. We also have Zoom techs, etc. But we have graphic artists, we have web developers, we have content creators. So I have an entire team that I work with that works on every project.
Gayle Marie, you have built yourself a team, a real team, and I'm loving it. I'm loving it. Listen, I'm going to take a quick little reset. And when I come back,
Okay.
I want to ask you some questions that are aligned with what you've just shared with us about the team and all the people that you work with and how you
Okay.
work with them. So
Okay.
hold tight. My engineer is going to slip you into what we call the green room, and I'll be back
Okay.
with you in just a second. This is yummy. As the kids say today, this is juicy. I'm coming into the 21st century here. I love it. My Eagles, my League of Eagles, if you are not in my Leading Ladies, Leaving Legacies Facebook group, well, why not? Because you belong there. This is a team. Gayle is there. Gayle Marie is a part of this phenomenal community tribe that we're building, and it keeps flourishing and growing, and we need you there. We need your vision. We need your mission, the purpose that you're about, and what you want to leave as your legacy. Because if you are, and not if, because you are in the Leading Ladies, Leaving Legacies, you have a purpose. You have a mission and a vision. And hopefully, the prayers, as Momsy would say, that's going to leave you some type of a legacy. So we would love to have you there. So take a screenshot or a snapshot and join us there. And then this other community, we're always about community, relationships, family. That's what it's all about, no matter what you do. This is a community that I belong to. It's called The Great Discovery. And it's a phenomenal, fantastic, absolutely superb community that's all about you sharing your wisdom, love, and knowledge and what you're creating out into the global world. I've always thought global. So that's where you belong. So take a screenshot or a snapshot and join us there any weeknight from 8 o'clock on. You'll find out and discover a lot about it. And then you'll make your decision. And I'm sure it will be to connect with us. Now, let's take a look at Gayle Marie's, her poster, her graphic. Please take a screenshot or a snapshot and the QR code, because you can tell from all of these nuggets, these tips and tools that she's sharing with us, that no matter what level you are in your business, that there is something that she can share with you that will even make you scale higher. So join her there, a screenshot or a snapshot. Book solid. Who doesn't want that? I do. And I spend a lot of time on the phone and in Zoom. So this is something that I'm sure you could avail yourself of, and it will be beneficial in every way. Now, Gayle Marie, I want to come back to you and I want to ask you a little bit about the blueprint again and
Mhm.
the pre-qualified how,
Mhm.
contingent upon the type of, I know it's small businesses, it's
Right.
solopreneurs like myself,
Mhm.
but what type of businesses predominantly, and I'm sure you've scattered across the board and you can deal with any and all, but which types of businesses are you predominantly working with here and now today?
Coaches and consultants, solopreneurs. Those are the individuals that seek my services the most because they have, high ticket offers and they're looking for the strategy in order to attract their ideal client. And once they understand it's not just one part, but a three-part process, they begin to understand what has been missing. So those are the individuals. I deal with a lot of coaches, and the top three fields of coaches, of course, are life or wealth, um, health, and relationships. And so those are the coaches that predominantly. So I also do financial coaches as well, some individuals that are into insurance. And I do still work with individuals that are e commerce and they want to promote their product. They want the visibility of themselves and their company and their product.
So you truly go across the board then, because you're
Yes.
talking about the life coach, your consultant, the health coach, your consultant, the financial, and the insurance. By the way, I think most people who tune in from now, they know that I started off in the fashion business and I segued over into the insurance business. That's how I met hubby, but I left the insurance business. But so you are across the board. You have all of these businesses. Of those that you listed, which of them do you find that most people, they all do need your wisdom and your knowledge and your expertise, but which would be the highest in the categories that you work with? Would it be relationship coaching? Would it be health coaching? Would it be financial? Would it be insurance, corporate? What would it?
Those that are in the health and wellness field, it is dominated and there's a lot of misinformation. So I have put together various programs for health and wellness coaches. Now, even though I have a framework, which is the ultimate growth trifecta, each program, each client is developed. Their program is developed for each client. Let me put it that way. So it's a custom tailored program. It's not boilerplate. And I work with you one-on-one, but health and wellness is the field where I've seen where the most help has been needed because there's a lot of competition and a lot of misinformation.
Ooh, I do. I love your answers, Gayle Marie, because I'm thinking almost when it comes to life coaching. I just spoke with someone the other day who said, I'm changing my title from life coach to mindset coaching because there's zillions of them out here.
Yes.
And the same applies for health and wellness. Yes. So how do you differentiate? How do you narrow down the expertise and the love that you're offering to those when there's zillions of them out there? So that's what you're supporting all of us to do and discover.
Yes. Yes, exactly. That's where we spend time in discovery, in the visibility, where we get to know you as a person, because we want to make sure that no matter what we do, it's authentically you. So we'll give you the framework, but we're going to pull out the best in you in order to share with the world so that what is on paper, it represent you as a person. And we're able to do that strategically with our marketing expertise so that people gravitate towards you as a person with trust as an influencer, and with clarity so that they are excited and exuberant to get to know you and get to know more about you.
Ah, Gayle Marie, you're using all the words that I love. You know, I'm a wordsmith because of all of my learning disabilities, but I don't let it stop me. That said, what you said, I narrow things down. You're talking about supporting them in every way, the people, the men and women that you work with, the groups, the businesses, the solopreneurs, helping them to design, develop, and discover what's best for them in the market that they're in that will help them. You gave me to upscale and to scale up with confidence because it's their business. So that in itself is a milestone right there. Do you find that you're working more with men or women?
Women, actually, 80% women and 20% men. I actually had a real estate investor, male, that just signed on recently. But I do have a few men, 20%, but it's 80% women, especially since the recently I've been a lot of coaches have been seeking my services.
Yes, I'm not surprised because I say this in love because I have this great love, admiration, and respect for us as women. But many of us, for all the different reasons, we're not going there today. But I don't even have to ask you. I think you would somewhat agree, no matter the education and all that other stuff that you can bring in. the sense of empowerment and owning our power. That's what we're coming into now,
Yeah.
without question. And you're so good with your numbers. You know your numbers, and I like that because I'm not a numbers person. That's why I married an accountant. numbers. I say, what is she talking about? But discovering and designing and everything that's best for you, so that you know yourself and what your offer is, and presenting it in the
Yes.
best way.
Yeah.
You can't lose with that. I'm going to ask my engineer to put up your poster once again, Gayle Marie, and I
Sure.
want you to speak to us about this 30-minute strategy call that you have for those who will find you more than interesting. My Eagles, take a screenshot or a snapshot of this graphic, and then find a way to connect with Gayle Marie as she explains to us what her 30-minute strategy call is going to be all about. So Gayle Marie, the stage is yours. Share with us as we end up here and now what you're offering and what you can give. I think you've alluded to everything here. You
Yes.
mentioned it all, but give us some more information about what they can get on a one-on-one basis with you in your strategy
Sure.
call.
The strategy call is going to be a discovery call, and it's going to be also a quick, what we call overview audit of your online presence. So we're going to perform that audit, and then we're going to be able to, during that call, to be able to talk about what we found in the audit that's going to help you with your online presence. It's going to help you in various areas. Once we do the audit, we'll know where the weaknesses are, where the gaps are, and what's missing. We're going to provide you with that information. And then we're going to talk about how it can be implemented. We'll give you some quick tips on what you can do immediately, some fast action items that will make a difference right away. There are some things that may jump out at us that we'll need to address, and we'll point those things out too. So once we leave the call, the strategy call, which is free, we will provide you with a copy of that audit and the next steps that you can take on implementing what we discussed on the call. If you want to take a deeper dive and work with us, then we'll provide you with that information as well. But this free call is invaluable in that you'll be speaking directly with me, and I would have reviewed a number of places for your online presence, and I will be giving you feedback and information and telling you where the misalignments are.
Gayle Marie, I'm loving it for all the different reasons, because online presence is so vital today. That's why most everyone wants to be seen, heard, and valued, and they're doing a live streaming or a podcast or something because they want to be seen, heard, and valued. But how we're going about it and how we're implementing it and understanding from the inception, when you mentioned that offer, that signature offer, it's vital.
Yes.
So the work that you're doing is just unbelievable. And I know that, I think no matter, even if you are in the higher brackets and you're there, it doesn't hurt to have another review, so that you can find out maybe what you're missing and what you could add to what you already have. So blessings to you for that. You know, the time flies here, and you and I can tell already we could go on and on and on, because presence and power and purpose, they're all my favorite. But what pearls of wisdom, what kind of takeaway, what do you want to leave us with? What's the takeaway for those who are tuning in now and those who will tune in later?
Well, what I say is, you didn't go into business to become a marketer. So work with a consultant, someone who is seasoned, someone who has experience. I have over 20 years, and able to have the insight, the wisdom, and the experience to get you to where you need to be expeditiously, because it is important not to spend 6, 12, 15 months in generating revenue. So I would say that my website, which is Stay Book Solid, will provide you with revenue certainty. That's our offer. We do provide some guarantees. So I look forward to speaking with you. I love sharing, and I hope to see you on our free strategy call.
Gayle Marie, I'm full. I'm full in the best way. I loved listening to you, learning with you, and you end it with sharing and implementing, helping and supporting, which you can't beat that. My engineer is going to slip you into the green room, and I'll be with you in just a second. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, thank you. A pleasure, a pleasure. Oh my goodness. Listen, the time flies here. I say that every week, don't I? I need to get a button that I can just push and say boom, boom, boom. But the truth is, Every featured guest speaker that I bring to you, male or female, I fall in love with because I admire their tenacity, the expertise that they bring, and the love and wisdom that they bring. And the people that I bring to you, all of those elements are there. And Gayle Marie is no exception, and any and every other individual that I bring to you. So my Eagles, I'd label you my League of Eagles, or you wouldn't be here. Wherever you are, be and stay well. Look after you so that you can look after others. Remember that Gayle Marie started off saying that she was a caretaker, and in the process, she discovered all of these gifts and talents and built her business. And we and you and I can do the same. Sending you much, much love from my heart to yours. Be and stay well. We'll see you again Monday at 3 p.m. Until then, enjoy the weekend and much love from my heart to yours. Cheers.